Hi guys, it's nighttime, and so it is super dark in my soap room. The lighting I have in here is just atrocious. I have to get my husband to help me with it. I have to. So we are going to make my first beef tallow product today. And we're going to start with a beef tallow body butter. So I cannot give you the exact recipe to this body butter because I did not make it, and I got it on Patreon for Jerrika Zimmerman. So if you want the recipe for this, go on Patreon, join Patreon, Jerrika Zimmerman's Patreon. She has an amazing little soap business, cosmetic business, and I get a lot of my recipes from other soapers and people like that. So we're going to start today. Now I am making this with nettle leaf today. Nettle leaf has tons and tons of great properties to it for the skin. So the nettle leaf is right now in a double broiler on the stovetop in some almond oil, sweet almond oil. When we get to that point, I'm going to take it off, strain it, and bring it in here and use it. But we're not there yet. So we're just going to get started rather than wait around for that stuff. We're going to start with phase A. Now, everything you see on here, everything around the tops of everything, all of my spatulas, everything, all of these, they have all been sprayed with about 90%, 85-90% isopropyl alcohol. I have 99% isopropyl alcohol, but I mix it with some water because it's important that you have maybe like 85-90% alcohol and the rest water, because then if it's 99% alcohol, I'm going to spray it right here and it's going to evaporate before it can kill the germs. So by adding some water, you give it some time to sit on the jar and evaporate the germs. Of course, all of these are sanitized, but I always go in right before I am making my cosmetics and spray everything down with alcohol to make sure we have no germs, okay? Now, I am going to start by adding my distilled water. Usually I use hydrosol water, but today we're going to use aloe vera juice. We're going to see how this turns out and how much I like it. I trust Jerrika Zimmerman, or I would not be making a double batch of this, which I probably shouldn't be making a double batch. I should always start with a single batch. But this makes such small batches. So I'm adding some distilled water. So this makes 1,000 grams of body butter, okay? Okay, now we're going to add some aloe vera juice. 100% aloe vera. But always shake any liquid that you're making products with. You just want to make sure you shake it. It's 100% aloe vera, so I mean nothing could be like settled. It's all 100%, but I just always shake everything. Okay, so we're going to pour some aloe vera juice into this. All right. Okie dokie. Now the next thing we're going to do is add some glycerin. I get my glycerin in a big gallon jug. So this is glycerin right here. It's a vegetable glycerin. Oh, that was perfect. Okay. And then I don't even know how to say that. It has some really great properties for your skin. It's for moisturizing properties. So, yeah, this is something that we use that helps with the moisturizing properties of the body butter. And this is a newer body butter recipe, so it's not going to be a really greasy one, and it's going to also be not going to be one that just melts. So I could ship it any time of the year. Okay, I forgot the alcohol, one of these. And then you got to give it a minute, okay? You got to let this dry. It's sanitizing right now as it evaporates, okay? You don't want to stick it right in there as soon as you do it. Okay, so we're going to need 5 grams of this powder. Okay, that's great. I love it when it does that. This is the first phase A, the water phase. Gonna mix that up. Okay, you want to make sure it's in a glass bowl that can be heated up, right? Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you measure this concoction here of your water phase, phase A. You want to measure that, okay, weigh that in its container so that you know after you heat this for a while in a double broiler, you need to know how much water evaporates so you can replace the water that evaporates, or else you're going to end up with it all out of whack. Okay, so I'm going to actually do grams because it gives a more precise reading. So I'm going to put 1044 grams right there. Okay, so we're just going to set that aside. Next, we're going to do phase B. Okay, we're going to start with emulsified wax. Guys, this wax, I've never used any other wax. It is amazing. It has never failed me. It is just Miller's emulsified wax. It's off of Amazon. It's amazing. So I really love it. So, yeah. This is plant-derived. This is a plant-derived emulsified wax. Okay. We need to measure that out. Hemp seed oil. going to weigh out some shea butter, but I am not going to add it into this because shea butter doesn't like to get hot, super hot, and you gotta get this pretty hot to melt this wax and stuff. So I get this melted really good, and then I add my shea butter. Okay, so let's get our shea butter weighed out. Okay, so we need some shea butter. I try to cut small chunks off as well so that I'm not, it's not heating big chunks of it. They melt faster when they're smaller, so I'm sure that makes sense to you. Okay. Little odds and ends of things you learn to do over the time of making products. Okay. Okay, so that's my shea butter. And I'm just gonna set that aside. Like I said, I'm gonna melt everything else first and then we'll add that, okay? Now, cocoa butter. Okay, as soon as I am out of my cocoa butter, this bag of cocoa butter, we are going to switch to cocoa butter because cocoa butter is outrageous right now. Okay, so see, it has to get so like hot to melt cocoa butter and stuff. That's why I just do not want to put that shea butter in yet. We are almost out of our last of our cocoa butter. So, like I said, we're going to switch over to cocoa. I heard that it is the same rate and everything, so we're good. So now we're going to add some cetyl alcohol flakes. I thought for sure that I was going to use all my cetyl alcohol flakes. Beef tallow. It's the first time I have ever used any beef tallow in my products. It says it's the same consistency of like a palm oil, which I use responsibly sourced palm oil in my soaps. Bam. Okay. Okay. So now we are going to zero that out and add our beef tallow. Oops. Okay. We're going to add our BTMS 50. This is an amazing emulsified wax. It is not cheap, but it just is just so amazing for your skin, guys. The properties that it has for your skin are amazing. So we're going to add some of this. I can't wait to see how this is going to fill on my skin with all of these amazing ingredients in it. Okay. Oh shoot, I forgot to use the rest of this. But all of these ingredients. We're going to set those aside. And then I'm going to go put these in a, basically you just get a pan with water in it. Okay, I'll fill it up to about here. Okay, put it on medium. If it gets too hot, then lower it a little bit. And you just want these to get up to about 175 degrees each. So they're gonna have to at least be on medium, okay, on the stovetop for a while. I'm going to put them on the stovetop, and then we are going to do the coal, add the, mix up the the cold ingredients, the cool down ingredients. We're gonna mix those up, and those are what you add after it cools down to under, does it say 122 degrees. So I'm gonna go put these on the double broiler. I will come back and do show a little clip of what they look like on the double broiler, okay? I almost forgot to show you the nettle infused almond oil. I have to add that to it, okay? So here it is right here. It's got nettle leaf in the little sack here. I did not have a cheesecloth, so instead of using a cheesecloth, I opted on using one of these little bags that I have. That's kind of hot. That's kind of hot. One of these little bags that you put your stuff for the bath in so that it doesn't get all over. And that just goes in the trash. So this is nettle infused almond oil now. So we are going to measure out how much I need to go add into the oils on the stovetop right now. Okay, so let's see here. Okay. Okay, so this has to be refrigerated so it doesn't go bad. You can smell a little bit of the nettle leaf in there. Okay. Now we are going to, we'll pour that in. Now we are going to do the cool down ingredients, which is panthenol. Okay. Gel panthenol is amazing. It does amazing things for the skin as well. You guys, all of these things do amazing things for the skin. I would sit here and tell you every single one and every single benefit, but I have to, I know like basic, but I don't know the whole list off of hand for each individual one. So I look it up. And so Google each of these ingredients if you're going to make this so you know the properties. I have a list of them I will have a list of them on my product. So this is panthenol. Let's start with some panthenol. There we go. So this scale is, yeah, it doesn't do 1 gram at a time. It does like 2 at a time. It's weird. Okay, and then next, some MTC oil, fractionated coconut oil. Okay. It's just full, so you gotta pour it, it'll go all down the side of the thing. Okay, so okay, and then red clover extract. Perfect. And then atropine. This is my preservative of choice. It is paraben formaldehyde free, an oil soluble preservative. It is derived from natural ingredients. Okay, so we need to do what? Okay. Okay. Now we are going to do our essential oils. I get my essential oils from my soap store. We have a local soap store. It used to be called Arizona Soap Supply. Now it's Maker's Market. This is sweet orange. Perfect. Sweet orange is not sun sensitive like regular orange. Okay? So you're not going to get sunburn with sweet orange. And then some rose. So that's done. Now we're going to go add this to the oils on the stove, and I'm going to show you what's going on, okay? We are in the kitchen, and here I have the oils and the water over high heat, okay? Medium heat, I'm sorry. And we'll mix this up a little bit. Clearly you can see they're not very hot right now. But before you take a temperature, it's important to mix it up because there could be hot spots in it. You can get a weird read, okay? So I'm mixing up my water, my A phase and my B phase. Now let's see how hot the B phase is. 109. We need to be 175, I think is what it said. And I'll go double check. But the water is at 120, and the oil and wax is about 120. So we have a ways to go. We're going to add this oil though. This has the nettle leaf, the almond oil with the nettle leaf in there. And then we are going to keep an eye on this, and when it gets to 175 degrees, we will turn it off and we will weigh this to see the weight, add more water for what is evaporated, and then we will show you what happens next. Okay, you guys, so I am back. Everything is gotten up to 175 degrees. I have some extra water heated up in the kettle to replace whatever I have lost. So I should have 144 grams, 1,044 grams. I have 1,036, so we're just going to replace what we lost. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Now we are going to pour the water into the oil, but in order to do that, we gotta upgrade to a bigger bowl here. Because either one of these containers is big enough to add the other one and not go overboard. Okay? So it says to add the water to the oil. put the oil in there, trying to scrape every little last bit of that out. Now we are going to add our water to our oils, and we're going to stick blend it, okay? And then I already did this, but I'm doing it again because I've been working around them, and I just like to make sure that these do not get any germs on them. Okay? Okay. All right. Hot. 175 degrees is hot, guys. Never leave this on top and walk away from this. It will tip the whole bowl over. It will. Trust me. Okay? Trust me. All right. That's all of that. And now we just need to continue to stick blend this. We are 139. Has to be under 122 to add our cool down phase C ingredients, okay? And you want to make sure this is nice and emulsified. I forgot that I'm going to add a little bit of mica to this, just a little bit, you guys. If you add too much mica, it'll look crazy, all right? It'll settle at the bottom and look crazy. It'll be all speckled and stuff. So I'm gonna go with some rose gold mica, okay? Just a little bit, do not overdo it. Like I said, it will just speckle it, okay? So I'm just adding a little bit. Rose gold mica from Brambleberry. Most of my micas are from Mad Micas, but I do have some from when I first started from Brambleberry. I just love Mad Micas, and I think they have really good pricing, and I've never had like any problems with any other micas, so I just love them. And I should know better than to put that away. It's not showing up at all in there yet. Like none of that showed up. Like pink what? This is okay. Whoops. Let's see how that does. I forgot to add the shea butter in this. Oh my gosh, you guys, see? Look at this. What would I? Yep. So the shea butter is added at the end, so that it can melt without being like heated too high. So let's see if the shea butter is going to melt in this backwards way. Thank gosh I noticed that, you guys. Thank gosh I noticed that. If I need to heat this up again to 175, I can. But thank gosh I noticed that my shea butter was just sitting there, and I never added it in after I heated the oils. And it's pretty much, I'm not finding any of it left. Like, that shea butter right there. A bit. It's all melting. It's already melted. Like, this is so hot still that it's already melted. Okay. So, shea butter is in. Now we're going to stick blend it to make sure there's no clumps in it. Okay. I can't believe I did that. Well, we definitely didn't lose the properties of the shea butter getting it to 175 degrees. They always say not to heat the shea butter too high, but then it doesn't make sense if they have you put it in a 175 degree recipe. Okay, this is around 120. I'm just holding for it. Yeah, see, it went back up to 123. I'm just holding for it to get a little, like 118, at least 120 constantly before I put the last phase ingredients in them, because you do not want to put them in over 122 degrees. Or else, I don't even know if that worked. My phone was paused somehow. So you don't want it to get, you have to put it in under 122 degrees, okay? Or else it will cook all of the properties of those essential oils and extracts and stuff that you're putting in, and preservative and all that, okay? So I think we have this mixed up well enough. Okay, what's the temperature? Okay, it's coming up 118 consistently. So we are going to scrape our lotion off, our body butter off of this thing here. And here we go. Last minute I decided I'm going to go with, I have 6 4 ounces and 4 2 ounces set out. I'm going to go with 5 4 ounces and 6 2 ounces, I think. So I'm going to swap one out because I remembered I want to give a couple of the 2 ounces away, so I want to have plenty of those to sell at the market. Okay. Okay. 2 ounces in this one.